Have you ever looked in the mirror and whispered to yourself, "What happened to me?" You still love your wife. You still want that connection. But your body, your manhood, just won't cooperate the way it used to. And you start to wonder, is this the beginning of the end? You're not alone, my friend. In fact, for millions of men over 55, what you're experiencing is not simply aging. It's much more silent and far more dangerous. It's poor blood circulation. Tiny blood vessels, especially the smallest ones in the penis, slowly clog, stiffen, and narrow over time. The result? Less blood flow, less sensation, less confidence, less intimacy, and eventually silent emotional withdrawal. I've seen this happen thousands of times over my 35 years, helping men like you reclaim their energy, restore intimacy, and feel like themselves again. Hello, I'm Dr. Edward, a men's health expert, urologist, and someone who spent 3.5 decades helping men right here in Greenville, South Carolina, and across the world. Today, I'm going to reveal 3 powerful vitamins that can literally transform your male strength, improve blood circulation, and naturally restore your confidence in the bedroom without medications, injections, or risky procedures. But before we dive in, I have a small favor. Back-end index pointing right, please subscribe to this channel. Hit the bell icon so you don't miss any life-changing health tips. And tell me in the comments where you're watching from. Now, back to your body. Let me explain why this happens in the first place, simply and clearly. Think of your blood vessels like the plumbing system in an old house. When you're young, the pipes are clean and flexible. Water, or blood, flows freely to every faucet or organ. But as time passes, plaques build up inside these pipes, restricting flow. Without proper blood flow, your brain gets foggy, your muscles feel weak, your heart strains, and yes, your ability to perform intimately starts to quietly vanish. And most men don't realize this until embarrassment strikes in the bedroom. That failed moment starts to chip away at your confidence, your sense of masculinity, and your emotional connection with your partner. When circulation declines, nitric oxide production drops, the chemical that relaxes blood vessels. Testosterone starts to slide. Stress increases cortisol levels. And poor sleep, poor diet, and inactivity make it worse. You're not broken. You're simply caught in a biological trap that few doctors take the time to fully explain. But the good news is, you can turn this around naturally, starting with the right vitamins. And that's what we're about to dive into. So, get ready. The first vitamin has long been underestimated, but its power amazes even doctors. Let's talk about L-arginine. You may have heard about this amino acid, but most men don't realize that L-arginine is one of your body's most important natural blood vessel openers. Here's how it works. When you take L-arginine, your body converts it into nitric oxide, NO, the key molecule that tells your blood vessels to relax, expand, and allow more blood to flow where it's needed most, especially in the penis. Why L-arginine matters. As we age, nitric oxide production plummets. Without nitric oxide, your arteries narrow like old pipes. Your erections weaken, not because of desire, but because the plumbing is clogged. L-arginine helps restore that flexibility by directly feeding your nitric oxide pathways. L-arginine nitric oxide synthase, enzyme, nitric oxide, NO, vasodilation, blood vessel expansion. The result? Stronger, longer-lasting erections, warmer hands and feet, improved stamina, better heart health. Multiple studies have shown that 5G of L-arginine daily improved erectile function in men with mild to moderate ED. Combined with healthy lifestyle changes, it could be a game changer. In fact, in one trial, men over 60 saw a noticeable improvement in bedroom performance in as little as 4 weeks. How to take L-arginine. Dose, 3,000 to 5,000 milligrams daily. Form: powder or capsules. Powder absorbs better. Time of day: empty stomach, morning or early afternoon. Important combination: works beautifully with vitamin C, which stabilizes nitric oxide. Avoid: don't mix it with prescription ED meds without your doctor's supervision. Real patient story. One of my patients, Walter, 68 years old, came to me devastated. He said, "Doc, I feel like I'm disappearing." We started him on 4G of L-arginine daily, combined with simple breathing exercises and light walking. Within 6 weeks, his words were, "I feel alive again." My wife can feel it too, not just in the bedroom, in how I hold her hand. Back and index pointing right, but L-arginine is just the ignition key. The next vitamin I'm about to reveal, it's the fuel that keeps the engine running powerfully for men over 55. Now, pay attention. This second vitamin is considered a secret weapon for men over 55. Coenzyme Q10, or CoQ10, is absolutely essential, yet tragically overlooked as we age. Inside every cell are tiny power plants called mitochondria. They produce the energy that fuels your muscles, brain, heart, and yes, your erections. CoQ10 is the spark plug inside those mitochondria. Without enough CoQ10, your energy drops, your heart strains, your sexual stamina fades, your mood dips, and after 50, your natural CoQ10 levels drop by as much as 40%. Statin medications for cholesterol make it worse. How CoQ10 restores sexual vitality, boosts cellular energy, supports healthy blood pressure, improves endothelial function, blood vessel lining, protects the heart and arteries, enhances stamina, energy, and emotional well-being. Clinical research. In one study, men taking 200 milligrams of CoQ10 daily experienced improved erection quality, reduced fatigue, enhanced mood and confidence. Another study found that CoQ10 reduced markers of inflammation, which indirectly supports blood flow and testosterone balance. How to take CoQ10. Dose: 100 to 300 milligrams daily. Form: ubiquinol form is best, more absorbable. Time: morning with a fatty meal, olive oil, nuts, or eggs help absorption. Safe combination: can be combined with L-arginine and omega-3 for maximum circulatory support. Caution: if you're on blood thinners, consult your doctor before adding CoQ10. Real patient story. I recall Glenn, 72, who worked construction for decades. "Doc, I just want to feel like I can hold my wife again, not like I'm fading away." We added 200 milligrams of CoQ10 daily alongside his L-arginine routine. 3 months later, he came in smiling. It's not a miracle, but it's real. My wife noticed before I did. Back and index pointing right, but there's one final piece of the puzzle. This last vitamin may surprise you because it's hiding in plain sight, often sitting in your very own kitchen cabinet. Dynamic transition. And finally, the third vitamin, which many people underestimate, but shouldn't because it can be crucial for your male health. Yes, good old baking soda. But don't dismiss it yet. The hidden acidity problem. As we age, our body's internal pH can shift toward acidity, especially if you eat processed foods, you're under chronic stress, you drink too little water. Acidity silently creates inflammation, stiff arteries, sluggish blood flow, poor nitric oxide production. Baking soda helps neutralize that acidity, improving blood flow naturally. How baking soda helps circulation, balances pH levels, reduces vascular inflammation, supports nitric oxide production, enhances oxygen delivery to tissues, helps thin sludgy blood without harsh drugs. When acidity builds up, your arteries contract. By buffering that acid, Baking soda allows the blood vessels to relax, opening up blood flow to your brain, heart, and yes, your intimate parts. The safe way to take baking soda. Dose: 1/4 teaspoon of pure food-grade baking soda. Method: stirred into 8 ounces of room temperature water. Timing: first thing in the morning, before food or coffee. Limit: 4 to 5 times per week. Caution: do not overuse. Excess can cause stomach upset or affect blood pressure if taken improperly. Robert, 68, was doing everything right, eating clean, walking daily, but still felt heavy and sluggish. We added this small dose of baking soda to his morning routine. Within 4 weeks, "Doc, it feels like my blood is finally moving again." His wife noticed too. How to use all three together. Morning: a 1/4 ton SP baking soda plus 8-ounce water on an empty stomach. With breakfast: Coke 10, 100 to 300 milligrams ubiquinol plus healthy fats. Midday: L-arginine 3, 5G powder or capsules. I've seen men in their late 60s, 70s, and even 80s rediscover not just their physical performance, but their emotional connection, energy, and joy for life. One man, Charles, 72, told me, "Doc, I feel like I'm 45 again. Not because I'm chasing youth, but because I'm finally supporting my body the right way." Common mistakes to avoid: relying on pills without addressing circulation, ignoring warning signs of poor blood flow, skipping emotional intimacy and self-connection, believing it's too late to start. Remember, intimacy is not lost because of aging. It's lost because of neglect. With small, consistent changes, you can reignite passion, rebuild confidence, and feel fully alive again. Your best years aren't behind you. They're waiting for you to reclaim them.